Well, big up my Reds. Big up my Reds. Everyone should be happy. Hopefully everyone's good. We are going to have a little post-match reaction. Let me make myself a little bit more into. Yeah, okay, there you go. Bring myself a little bit more center focus into the screen here. We possibly might have some additional members to this conversation. But for right now, it's me and you. So let's make the most of it and talk about our Reds, who finally get a win. And let's just be honest, I did try to emphasize the woosahs and the namastes and everything else that comes along with it. We can all breathe a little bit, a sense of relief that the losing streak ends. We need to now concentrate on getting a winning streak started, and not only a winning streak started, but also getting a win in the Premier League. That's a huge task for us that we have at hand. But we've all been waiting for this. Liverpool are alive again. So a 5-1 win in the Champions League in Frankfurt ends this 4-game losing streak. Hopefully it restores some pride, maybe eases some of the resentment for some of our players, maybe even our coach, and puts a little belief back into the shirt. Slot made some tough calls. I'll give him that. At first, I was really excited. I'm going to be honest with you, because I thought maybe he had taken a little bit of taken some notes from our episodes and gone with basically going for 4-4-2. But at times it was a 4-4-2. At other times it was something more of a 4-3-3. Big up John Conway. Big up to High Lord, by the way, too. Hope that you both are well, my Reds. But as like I said, Slot made some tough calls, and you have to give him credit for where credit's due. He benched Salah. He let Ekitike start and be unleashed, which is smart considering it was a return home for him. You know what I mean by home. His home is in France, but still, I mean by home as in like his former club. Wirtz finally trusted in Wirtz, but it was a return home again to Germany, at least for Wirtz, and that was good to see. And the team delivered with power, precision, passion, albeit a little bit of a what they call it, like a brain fart, I think they call it, or something like that. A little bit of a misstep initially in the very beginning of the game. But we didn't just win. We announced ourselves on the European stage as being ready to possibly fight for not only Europe, but also, let's say, hopefully that we can get this together and bring it all into shape for the Premier League. That's certainly what we're looking for. So again, I'm hoping that that's something that we can all focus on. I'm going to tell you this. So my match recap. Everything. I'll bring in this quote before I do my match recap. Everything has a price, and also today's win, 2 injuries in Isak and Frimpong. I didn't hear about the injury. I know that he went off at halftime. I was hoping it wasn't for an injury. If that's the case, that's frustrating and disappointing. Frimpong's injury is concerning, considering that he continues to get these hamstring injuries. Hyler was saying it's a groin injury. That's not good, because that means he'll be out for a couple of weeks. Look, if there's any player that we can trust as being ready for this task, ready for the opportunity, I'm going to say it's Ekitike, number 22. It's got my number. So, yeah, big up to Mr. Oliver. Big up. They did it. We won. Patience is our friend. Certainly, Mr. Oliver. I like that as well. Big up Trap Joe. A good win, but a lot of stagnant moments. I agree with that. There were some points where it was frustrating since the other team was very bad. Feel bad for Frimpong. I feel very, very bad for Frimpong. I agree with that completely. Like I said, it's concerned because he finally gets to start, and then he ends up, pulling another hamstring. It's like, and that was what kept him out from before. with the injuries. So we got to figure out what it is. I don't know, if it's his diet or it's his basic run up to, being stretched and ready for the games. Whatever it is, we got to figure that out because that's a major concern. But I'm going to get into this match recap. We can talk specifics. 5-1, Ekitike, Van Dijk, Konate, Cody, Dom, all on the score sheet. 2 assists from our number 10, or actually our number 7, but but number 10 in our hearts. Florian Wirtz, 2 goals from corners in this game, which was exceptional. It's what we want to see, what we need, something we've been pressing and stressing. And shout out to Mr. Briggs. Maybe he heard the heat getting hotter and his name getting mentioned, and he did a little bit more homework to get this done in the sense of getting our team prepared and able to really step it up, because it's been a minute since we've seen a goal, a header goal from Konate. So the sheer fact that both our center halves were able to step it up and take advantage of a Frankfurt team that wasn't really prepared for corners the way that we were going to attack them, awesome. Because they were both in ample space, all alone, weren't really being bothered by anyone as they went up for to connect on those corners. Absolutely great to see. But this was an instance of where you started to see some control in the second half. I would say go as far as to say total control in the second half. There wasn't very many instances that gave you that much worry, except for maybe 1 or 2, but really that much worry from Frankfurt as they attacked us. It's long overdue. Reminder that Liverpool can dominate any side when they click. That's exactly what we want to see. I wanted to see. We saw this yesterday of a lot of teams. Obviously with Manchester City, who had 2 goals, but also Arsenal and other squads that played yesterday, and they absolutely battered their opponents. That's what we needed in this matchup. I was asking for not only a win. I asked this question to Lee. I asked this question to some of the others. I think maybe Lee might be joining us, possibly. I know Lee had to go out to watch the game, so he might be still at the pub or maybe on his way back. But I asked for a performance. I wanted to be entertained, in essence, and it was essential to see that for me, more so than just getting the win. I know it's going to sound weird, but it was more so than just getting the win. I honestly wanted to win, but I didn't want to be on some, we won the way that we won some of the games in the beginning of the season, for instance. They're wins and you're proud and you'll take them. But I wanted to see some real surges of real, continuity, basically, for our team. And that's what we finally got to see. I mean, after 4 defeats, we needed not just points, but proof that this team is going to finally get some synergy. And tonight we got a little bit of both. So shout out to the club as they made some real efforts towards that as well. And bring out some other statements here from the chat. What you guys got to say? Hyler says our team is better with these players starting. Ekitike, Curtis, Jones, Robbo. Our team actually looks better balanced without Salah starting. Wow. Sorry, but there it is. Has to tell the truth, says Hylor. Okay. Mr. Oliver says Alexander Isak must do better. He struggled a lot in Sweden national team with Victor and in Liverpool with Ekitike tonight. Salah struggled as well. And then Trap Joe says he says he disagrees with the comment about Salah. He's not at his best, but the team's still figuring things out. A lot of that I can agree with. A lot of those statements I can agree with. In that, look, I've been calling for this tactical shift We almost got it. Like I said, we almost got it. I really do think, I honestly do think that if we go to a 4-4-2, we will be dominant in our approach towards games. However, Slot finally made some balance. He put together somewhat of like a 4-2-2-2 hybrid in essence. Isak and Ekitike leading the line, obviously. Wirtz floating behind. You had Frimpong and Robertson giving width, or at least for as long as Frimpong was on. Then when Bradley got on, he provided the width for that case. It wasn't just formation. It was intent for me. They moved as a unit, pressed smarter. That's something that I was so happy to see. And I hope that some people noticed it as well. We had a collective effort towards the press. It wasn't just Dominic running around chasing everyone on the pitch. It was a collective effort on our press. And it was shown in the way that they made Frankfurt made a lot of mistakes, a lot of unforced errors, basically, because of the press. And we used vertical runs to break Frankfurt's shape. That was smart. The goal that Ekitike got, shout out to my left back, Robbo. Now, there are going to be some that are going to push back and say, oh, well, it was Robbo that, should have made the block on the goal that we had, the first goal that they scored on. Look, sometimes that's difficult for it to have to go through Robbo's legs, or go through the wickers, or the wicks, I think they call them wickers. I forget what they call them, but to go through Robbo, and then additionally get past our goalkeeper. You just gotta give credit where credit's due. It's a good goal for them. Possibly should be something that we can start to like incorporate a little bit more attention to detail. Our goalkeeper should be making that save, to be honest with you. But all the same, I'm not going to put too much blame on Marmardashvili on that one, because he played well. After that, he didn't slump his head or get caught in his feelings. He did continue to play well after that. Big up Edward, by the way. Big up Edward. Good to see you. Salah will be good again, playing up front. Wirtz looked good on the right, and 2 assists, which is interesting because a lot of times Wirtz has been called upon to play off on the left. I think that we put too much of an emphasis of just trying to stick too many players on the left sometimes. We got to, and not recognizing the fact that, if we're not going to get the production out of Salah on the right, let's find someone that we can get the production out of the player on that side as well. And Wirtz did his thing today. He definitely did his thing today. But yeah, so it was an interesting approach towards the tactics. It wasn't just formation, it was intent. I think that's the most important concept that you should maybe bring to the conversations if you engage with other people, maybe if they try to battle you with like, oh, we weren't this or we weren't that. I think it was more so the intent. Maybe it was kind of like getting the butterflies out. We got scored on in the beginning. It didn't look good. Let's be honest, it did not look good. But I, as I said in a couple different group chats I'm in, I really, really, really enjoyed seeing Robbo with an absolute. I think Robbo had possibly the best pass. The best assist has to go to Robbo, and the assist that he performed on Ekitike. I've been asking for these kinds of deliveries to our strikers for I don't know how long. Since Nunez was a part of our team, I've been asking for these types of deliveries to our strikers. Efforts that they can just run onto, allow for them to utilize their pace. Ekitike, oh my goodness, straight thoroughbred style running, was able to just outpace him, fend off his defender, be able to get control of the ball, and absolutely slot it home. Great finish by him. It was really something to see, but it's what I've been really emphasizing, super emphasizing. And that is the intent. That we moved as a unit, we pressed smarter, like I said. We used vertical runs to break Frankfurt's shape, like I said earlier. When Frimpong went off injured, Bradley slipped in seamlessly. I thought Bradley did well. I definitely know that Bradley's going to be the choice come this weekend. So I'm hoping that he can step up again for us this weekend. That's a system that we got to see a little bit of tonight, as opposed to individuals. That's what I enjoyed to see a little bit more so tonight, was the system that we got to see, as opposed to just an effort of individuals. Ekitike, how are you feeling about Ekitike out there? 22, the deuce, Mr. Desmond Tutu on his kit, representing to the fullest. 2-2. Hugo Ekitike, the headline act in Frankfurt tonight. I didn't give him my man of the match, by the way. I'm going to watch this game over. I'll get a even more comprehensive tactical and assessment of the game for tomorrow, when we really break it down for tomorrow. And Friday, I'll get in our preview of our upcoming game against Brentford. But he was the headline act today, returning to his former club, Frankfurt. It was poetic. I can't emphasize this enough. Look, I know some people try to, do tongue-in-cheek when they say football romantic, or sometimes my takes are sometimes a little bit poetic, or whatever you want to put it. Look, if you don't understand that football is a beautiful game, that's on you. If you don't want to recognize the fact that there is romanticism in our game, that's on you as well. But I recognize that, and I think that tonight it was poetically shaped for our number 22 to basically have a really stellar performance today. He's a player who left this very club just months ago, obviously, returning to silence his critics and reintroduce himself to Europe in the most ruthless fashion, because that was possibly an absolute brilliant goal. The finish was pure composure, calm, clinical, confident. It was just the goal. It wasn't just the goal, though. I'll say it like this. It wasn't just the goal, though. It was everything around it. His energy, his movement, his understanding with Wirtz and Cody, and the recognition of Robbo, to know that he was going to be able to get that through ball to him. That's something. That's the difference. I've been saying this time and time again. For those that want to criticize my my calls for Robbo to be our left back, until it's not a real condemnation of Kerkez. It's not. I don't want to get to that place and stage. I think Kerkez is a talented player. He has energy. He has things that can help us, that can be contributions to our team. I'm not disputing that one little bit. I think that he will be an asset to our team. You heard it here, and I'm saying it again. He will be an asset to our team. However, I just truly believe one thing that Slot has missed this year is the fact that there is a fabric that makes this club work. There is a fabric that makes this team the actual team you see before you. And that fabric comes from players that certainly have some semblance of understanding what it means, not only wear the badge, but also understanding of their teammates, understanding of their spacing, understanding of their teammates' tendencies, understanding of what the club is trying to, the identity that we've tried to establish. Those are very important things. I mean, big up Nolante, by the way. Big up Nolante. Hopefully you can hear me.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm traveling back, so if I'm in and if I'm in and out,
Okay.
then I'll come back on anyway.
Understood.
Yeah,
Understood.
the chat.
Appreciate the fact that you're even tuning in, helping out, chipping in, like a true red. Appreciate that always. You never walk alone.
Okay.
But I honestly can't emphasize it enough, is that, like, with the Robbo, for me, this is the honest to gosh truth, is that I've been looking for just the composure that you're going to get from Robbo in that back line. I want to reestablish, I want to solidify the trust our center halves are going to have with their fullbacks. Okay, not worrying, not overcompensating, not pressing, not doing too much. That's what you establish when you have something like a Robbo or something like a Joe Gomez or something like even Connor Bradley in that back line. I was hoping that we could maybe get something out of that from Frimpong. I knew Frimpong was going to be that resurgence of maybe bringing in some pace, giving Bradley a rest, which is what I propose as well. But let's be honest, I thought it was something that we needed in this game, and we got it. Because let me give you the post-match thoughts, and then I'm going to bring Nalante's opinions in on what we're talking about. The post-match thoughts of Hugo were this. He said, I had to score here. It was a great feeling and special for me to come back here and score. It was a special game for me and my first goal in the Champions League. I am really happy. I just keep cool and calm. My guy, I like that. I knew he would come and open his legs. Pause. I'm not going to insert a pause for him. So I decided to beat him. I decided to beat him between the legs. Pause again. Anyways, moving on. He said, I have so much respect for them, meaning Frankfurt. They made the player I am today. I am grateful for what they gave me, and it will stay with me in the future. We, meaning him and Alexander Isak, can improve together. And he is a great player. The links will come. In my brain, I feel good. I have very good teammates and staff. I love my life here at Liverpool, which is what I'm speaking on, and want to keep going. I feel really good, and the club helps me a lot. Let me say this, and I'm going to bring Nalante in. You can feel the humility and gratitude here. That's class. I think Ekitike is well measured when it comes to interviews. I like his answers. I like the way he approaches, really responding to questions, sometimes even gotcha questions. This wasn't really arrogance because he understands the fact that it might come off as such, but this was growth, I think, in his sense. Ekitike played like a man with a point to prove, but spoke like a professional who respects his journey. The combination is lethal, people. It is lethal. And the part where he talks about improving alongside Isak, let me say, Mr. Slot, Arne Slot, Mr. Slot Machine, however you want to be referenced, coach, manager, gaffer, take notes. When these two men are healthy, put them on the pitch together. They are two dynamic forces in that front line, and it will be my version of going back to basics because it really means something. It really does mean something. I like the fact that I like that he was talking about improvising alongside Isak. I like the fact that that's exactly what Slot's been hoping for, what all of us have been looking and asking for. Two modern strikers learning to complement each other instead of competing. It's evolution. And I'm gonna ask Delante, is this the moment Hugo Ekitike becomes undroppable for Liverpool? Is this the moment where maybe I know that Isak might have some of a knock or a niggle, but being that if they're both healthy, is this the point where that Isak has to beat out Hugo? If not, if this coach isn't going to play them both together?
I would say yes. And look, I've been pleasantly surprised by Hugo. I always thought it was a 50-50 gamble to sign in. And Isak, again, we talked about Isak's being my main guy. And he's come in and he's done bits. To fair play to him. Like I said, I said it's a gamble. It could go right or could go wrong. And he's done bits. So right now, you have to say at this current moment, even if Isak's fit, Hugo has to play. You just have to fit him in. This is, again, we've said it, the selection headaches will, but sometimes you have to you have to be strong, and you can't let any play. It doesn't matter the history, what they've done for us. You know what I mean? If they're not in form, and this is what I keep telling people, they're not in form. You have to play who you need to play. The form players. You can't have players relaxing, thinking, "Oh, I can play 6 bad games just because I've done 7 years of great work." And then no, because you need. Listen, I've said it. They need the fire light up their asses. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, and I think I'm watching something else, another show. It's called Filthy Fellas, where they talk about football. And one guy is a bit of an idiot anyway, but I don't want to talk about him. Obviously
Okay.
mentioned, obviously Jota. He mentioned Diego, and he started laughing about it. And yes, it's an effect, but at some point, it is, and it has for some players. Maybe he's still with Mo. We don't know, but some things have to move on, and it's bigger than that. Right now, Hugo's doing bits, but I thought at times he linked up well with Isak. I thought you could see there was something there potentially. But my thing is it's all good dropping. It's all good putting Mo on the bench for tonight. But is he going to leave him on the bench on Saturday? I think he should, but he's not going to. And that's the thing. He's not going to be strong enough to say, you know what? Look here, that you just right now, man. We just need you to hold bench, and then you get back to form and be it KAs or whoever. Obviously, Cody scored again, so decent.
Yeah,
So but I
I
don't think
agree
it's
with you
going to
on
happen. But today was a stepping stone again. The opposition, Frankfurt. Yeah.
that.
Mm.
Big up JP. I just looked on
I
JP.
think
I did just
Frankfurt
look
is
on.
is not a great team. They're not a crap team, but they're not a great team. So, but again, we should have done this before. Again, I could say we should have done this again.
Oh, should have done this. Finish your thought.
Galatasaray against Galatasaray. But look, it's
I don't know if you're kind of going in and out a little bit. Yeah, because I don't see your microphone. I was just gonna say, JP, I did look. I'm on Twitter right now looking to see if I got a request, or maybe you comment. Maybe if you comment on something, if you want, I could put this in. I can put it in. I'll put this in. I'll make this. I don't normally do this, but I will. I will bring people in if they want to include get a because everyone in the chat for the most part are people that I know or people that I engage with, people that that I trust. So there's no efforts to try to do something dirty. So yeah, I put the link in there if somebody wants to, others out there want to join in on the conversation and join in with some of the questions and everything else. Apparently, Rasta Crab, Isak did get injured. Apparently, it's a groin injury, but I'm hoping that it's something like I'm hoping that it is more so precautionary. Maybe he felt a little. I'm hoping it's somewhat similar to what you might have seen from Frimpong. I'm hoping that Frimpong is just a precautionary thing where it's a tweak. You feel something, but it's it's nothing. It's not a heavy grade or something like that. Again, so I did put the link into the chat if anyone's out there that wants to join, if you're someone that I don't know or someone that's not an OG for the channel, you will have to show your face before I bring you on. All right, just to making sure you know that. And then you can go to the avatar if you like after that. But yeah, just in case. But if I do know you, don't worry about it. You don't have to your Trap Joes or your High Lores or Bonkers. Those guys, people like that. You know who you are. OGs to the channel. If you guys want to come on and have your say, let's have at it. Let's have at it because it is a good day. It's a good day to break the monotony of what we had to deal with. You know what I mean? Shout out to JP. Big up, JP. How are you doing?
Man, big up.
How are you? How are you?
I good. Can't complain. Can't complain. Happy, just patch the bleeding a little bit, right?
Exactly.
So hoping that we could continue to wrap the bandage around the negativity around Liverpool, and let's see what's going on for Brentford now. One
Yeah.
game at a time. One game at a time.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. The Brentford game is going to be extremely different.
Yeah.
Extremely different. This game, I was saying it before, is why I had originally my score prediction was 4-2.
Mhm.
I got the total number of goals right. I just didn't get the
Yeah, just a
breakdown.
little.
Just but what I saw in this game, or what I knew, was that I think they had like close to almost 60 goals. It was like 58, 59 goals or something like that scored. They've been in part of 59 goals, 29, I think, or close to 30 of them had been scored by themselves, and then like the others had been scored obviously by their opponents. So a bunch of this team was one of I think they said on the post match, this team was possibly one of the worst defensive teams in the Bundesliga currently right now. However, they can score. They can get at you on the counter. That's what they did against us, right off the very bat. I'm going to ask you this, because this is something. Could we be looking at the start of a real Isak Ekitike partnership if Slot listens to what we've been saying on these kinds of podcasts? If he finally gets it, if he finally just figures out that, hey, you know what? Rather than try to keep doing the square pegs in the round hole thing with players and trying to make them play out of position, just put them into positions that they will excel at.
I mean, we see in it, but whether he has the strength and the ego to do it is another thing. You saw how Salah reacted after the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
How we stormed down in the tunnel. So it means that he has one of his so-called biggest ego players unhappy right now, right? And in my opinion, let's hope that the Isaac injury is not
serious.
too serious,
right. Yeah,
right? But in my opinion, you go with the same team that did this result today, right? And Salah has to bench on Saturday. But however, seeing that if Grav is also fit, we could see possibly two of the starters who start today not playing, because it will most likely be Grav sub in the pivot.
Wait, real quick. Are you about to say that you would sit Gravy?
No, I said most likely if Grav is fit, we're going to see Grav and Sabo in the pivot, and Curtis Jones coming out, and Isak coming out as well, and Salah will come in, and Grav will come in as well, right? And that will just, I mean, Grav coming in for Jones is good, right? But however, Jones deserve a start. Yeah, so he was excellent today with Sabo, right? So but the issue now is Isak is going to bench and Salah is going to play on the right. So let's hope we get something in Brentford. I don't know.
I feel you. Yeah, it is a very interesting scenario that we're going to have for Brentford. I think I would say, as a response to what you're saying, I agreed. Like I said it before this game. I said that I honestly believe that Curtis Jones is one of the most deserving players of a start. I honestly did believe that, and he finally got it, maybe out of necessity more so than the coach just trust of the coach. But he made the most of it, as he's been doing all season. He's made the most of his minutes. Played well today. There's interestingly put. I think that, and then you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that VVD got player of the game. Does anyone know? I'm looking to see. I just saw a post on my X account come up and pop up and showed VVD with the player of the match trophy. He wasn't my player of the match, honestly, but but he did get, apparently, I think he got the player of the match. If I'm wrong, please do tell me. Definitely tell me if I got that one wrong. I'm looking for it right now on X. Not coming across it for some reason. And, well, I'll say like this. Big up to, I said it earlier, set piece redemption for Mr. Briggs. And the back line delivers some really, really good goals for us. I know VVD, I just mentioned, who possibly got the man of the match. 2 set piece goals in 1 match. Finally, look, if other teams are going to do it, rather than the one thing I didn't like about Slot's answer to some of the comments about corners and about our inefficiencies at set pieces, whether defending or being a part of going forward with our own corners or set pieces, was that he seemed to be like, he was like kind of complaining a little bit. I wanted to be more so assertive in saying that just get better, just be better, score. If set pieces are being somewhat of like that Achilles heel for us, then not only obviously defend them better, but also let's start scoring our own set pieces. Okay. Like, if long throws and set pieces and corners are ways that other teams are scoring, then join in on the fun, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And Van Dijk and Konate did that today. They bullied Frankfurt in the air. Cody and Dom delivered beautiful, beautiful corners to them. After weeks of criticism, as I said earlier, Mr. Aaron Briggs, our set piece coach, had probably one. I hope he got a good tongue lashing, from the coach to say you got to step it up. This looked rehearsed, by the way that they went about their piece, because they were wide open on when they ended up getting their goals. It was confident, ruthless for both of them, by the way. The way top sides should score, by the way, as well. I'll ask this of JP. Is this the beginning of Liverpool turning set pieces into a true weapon again? Do you think this is something that we can capitalize and
yeah, I think so, and especially with the deliveries as well, but also with these starting Isak and Ekitike, you given a good defensive shape to not concede in set pieces as well, because you have 2 tall men in the defensive. I think someone was explaining that you saw Ekitike at the first post and you saw Isak at the last post, with Konate and Van Dijk zoning in the middle. So it gives us a height advantage now to defend in set pieces as well. So not only a turnover to be more offensive on set pieces is also a good thing, that the 2 strikers starting now with their height, giving us that stability in defense as well. So definitely on the attacking side and the defensive side, very good from what we saw today.
Okay. I'll ask Nalante, what difference does having both VVD, as JP was just mentioning, what difference does having both VVD and Konate attacking the same zones possibly make? And maybe that could be orchestrated as to like having 2 players attack the same zone, and the sheer fact that when you're going against a zonal marking as well, especially, now all of a sudden a player's got to make decisions as to, okay, which one do I take, But make sure Nalante, you there? See if he's answered this one. I know that he's coming. He's coming home from work, so he's on the move. Well, I'll ask that to you, JP. Then, if you maybe you have an answer for that as well.
Yeah, say again.
Do you have so like basically what I'm saying is that? Oh yeah, Nalante. Yeah. I'll give the question to you both, but I'll just restate the question. Basically, is maybe the difference the fact that we had Virgil van Dijk and Konate who were like attacking the same zones, were making it difficult for a team that was possibly doing zonal marking to then say, okay, well, now it becomes an issue because here are 2 dynamic aerial duelists, and it's difficult to decide, am I going to commit to Virgil, or am I going to commit to Ibu? Maybe that's one of the ways that we've opened up a possible solution to our corners.
Yeah, I'll let you go, Nalante.
Yeah, no problem, JP. Yeah, sorry, I'll be off. I'll be getting off in 10 minutes, so I'll be much better
Okay.
anyway. If I do
Okay.
disappear again into the wind, but anyway, yeah. Look, yes, but on the day they have to be more effective because they've been doing this either way, and they haven't been scoring goals. But I think it's not just an VVD and Ibu problem. I think some of the other players need to get goals themselves. It's not like our players are like midgets. I've got tall players that need to get in and get their share of headed goals. So I don't think it's a VVD Nibu thing. It's a team thing, and everyone needs to contribute. That's one thing we don't do. And that's something I don't know whether Arne's working in the training.
I think we might have just lost Nalante.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
Yeah.
But I'll just add there too, and how you said it as well is spot on because
We need to.
Oh, he's back.
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's okay. He went on mute. He just went on mute. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, no, because I just think to add a little more fire to that offensive, take off Gakpo from the corners and let Wirtz or Szoboszlai take it from that
agree
side
completely.
and just
Yeah.
add Gakpo, and you just so because it was difficult. You saw the Frankfurt defenders very confused. Two guys were on Isaac, one was marking Ekitike, Konate, and so it's 4 threats we had in the box, right? And if you add Gakpo to that, it will be 5 because Gakpo is very good aerially as well, right? So
or at least he's tall. At least he's tall.
yeah, at least he's tall, right? And it gives you an option. So you have these 5 powerful, tall attackers who could attack free kicks and corners, and it will just give us more firepower. I mean, even though Gakpo got the assist, I still think Wirtz could do that, right? If you just give him that consistency, right? And also Szoboszlai on that side as well can deliver too. So I just saying, but that could only be achieved if we have Ekitike and Isaac on the pitch at the same time. You know, if Isaac bench on Saturday, then that threat comes down by 1 because Gakpo is gonna still be taking corners. So we'll just have to wait and see. But that's a good point, because if you have 2 stoppers attacking the same zone and you have them now man market, then you have to worry about Ekitike, then you have to worry about Isaac, right? It will give us more options. Remember, before Isaac and they only had like 2 options to mark. Just had to man mark VVD or man mark Konate, and our threats are nullified, right? So now that we have more options there, we saw the difference with the corner kicks attacking wise. So yeah, good point.
Yeah, it's something where, you know, when you've got twin towers in Virgil and Ibu, like, it's very difficult to defend those players. If the delivery's right, which we did get 2 excellent deliveries from both Dom and Cody, it adds just another layer to our attack, you know, again, you know, rather than, you know, complain about getting scored on from corners, let's join the party and start scoring on our corners too.
Yeah. And it gave us the platform to see out the second half comfortably.
Yes,
right? Those two corners gave us the platform to feel comfortable, to feel good, to have a control and a foothold in the game, and it works. So once you score your corners or you score your set pieces, it gives you another dimension to scoring goals, and is something that we could utilize going to manage bigger and better competitions going forward.
Yeah, there was something of 4 minutes between we scored the first goal, then Ekitike scored the first goal, then for us at least, then 4 minutes later VVD scores, then 5 minutes later, you know, Ibu scores, and it's just like that quick succession of just like constant offensive you know, assertion really made a difference. Really made a difference. And again, let's talk about 2 players though that had a little bit. One that's been playing well all year. Let's just be honest. I think one that's been playing. I think the other's been playing decent. Well, it just so happens that his teammates haven't necessarily, because his teammates haven't connected or completed on, finishing the duty. It's been a little bit of like, oh, hey, he's really this or he's really that.
Yeah.
And that is Wirtz and Dom. I think that, like, Florian Wirtz looked like a real 100 million pound playmaker today.
Yeah.
He looked like he was so comfortable. I don't know if it's maybe the Bavarian pretzels or something.
I don't know
what it was, the sauerkraut, whatever it was. It really, really connected today.
Yeah.
2 assists, albeit the second assist to Dom isn't necessarily a masterful assist. It's enough that he knows where his counterpart is. Enough that he knows.
It's link up play. Yeah.
He can put the player into space to be able to make a shot and make a play. That's credit enough, I think. And he had full control in half spaces, was constant composure, was actually playing decent on defense as well.
Yeah.
Was assertive in his counter press wide way. And beside him, Szoboszlai, the heartbeat, the finisher, the player that I said was going to be possibly our player of the season this year, the man of the match, in my opinion. Okay, he's got I know that the man right here is holding the trophy, but I thought Szoboszlai was the man of the match in this game. Had an absolute thunderbolt of a shot from that assist from Wirtz. Has Wirtz earned himself a guaranteed starting role once again, or is this going to be BS, or he's going to be coming off the bench for like 12 minutes or something?
I think it could have been even better if he started in the Man U game. He was going to show his worth in that Man U game as well, right? However, as I said, right now, now that he has that confidence, he has that monkey off his back, right? He has 2 assists. Let's hope that his teammates could trust him a little more, and you put that midfield around him right now. Right now, our best midfield looking like Grav, Sabo in the pivot, and Wirtz in front of them in the 10, right? And let's see how it goes. More glad assist to him, because you saw it when you said there he should have had at least 3 assists already for the season.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah, at least 3 assists, right? And today
3 assists maybe, and sometimes in the game.
Yeah. Today it just showed that he is that team player, and he wants to get into the pockets, to get into the wide areas, to get his teammates an assist. And me personally, I think if Salah was feeling the vibe and feeling the way how the team was connected and everybody tried to do the right things, Wirtz could have ended up with a goal as well, because Salah just needed to square it, and it would have been a tap in for him, right? So I as soon as he got that assist 12th man, I saw the Florian Wirtz that I'm accustomed to seeing, right? The first half wasn't too hot up, and then but as soon as he got that assist, he started even getting fouls against him, right? So when you see your number 10 is getting fouls against him, in terms of it means that he's
getting in the rhythm.
He's feeling himself, he's feeling the flow, and he did well, and I'm really happy for him, and I hope that he could carry that over into the Brentford game, because it's not only the assist I'm looking for. He had a lot of link-up play that was the assist before the assist as well, right? So that's what we kind of looking for our number 10 going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Big up, JK, by the way. Big up.
Yeah, big up, JK.
Bless bros, all of you, Nalante as well. How you cool, man? JP.
Yeah. It's
is that what winning feels like? Yeah.
Yeah, this is what winning feels like. I
mean, long time feeling, man. I had that in a long time.
Like 2 weeks. We didn't feel this way.
Exactly.
It feels longer than that. It feels like a year, bro.
Definitely walking through the desert here. Definitely, but finally got to an oasis called Frankfurt, and that's what it was. I gave a shout out to Frankfurt. We needed this kind of win, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I did. I emphasized this enough. I was saying, I know I asked the question of, if there was two different types of way we could win this game, and one was we win it, but we don't play well, or we're just kind of like we just get the win. Is that more important to you, or is it we win and we actually get a performance out of it? And I'm like, it's not only a must win, obviously, but it was a must performance. For me, we needed to show that we're trying to get some semblance of confidence back into this team. And if we don't have that, then, another team can obviously just chip away or pick us apart again. And we don't need to see that happen. There's no, the room for any types of slippage is not there any longer. We've given up all our get out of jail free cards basically on the Monopoly board here. So I'm gonna say this then, because again, big up to Thomas Szoboszlai, big up to those that have been supporting Thomas Szoboszlai from the gate. By the way, recognize what he brings and what he does for our club. I know some people wanted him out. I remember some people were like, I remember some people are like, I'll drive him to the airport or something like that. I was like, whoa, easy. But yeah.
I just wanted him to do better.
Yeah. I'm gonna get this. I wasn't referencing you though. I wasn't. You've seen your ways. I was gonna say this.
Father 12 man.
I was going to say this. You know what was interesting? Salah being benched, okay? Obviously a turning point. I don't want to see it as a punishment. I hope people don't see it as a punishment or some, and I hope he's not seeing it as a punishment. However, he did have, when you saw him getting subbed into and he was listening to the instructions and he was kind of getting into it, he didn't necessarily seem like he was like I don't know. It's just kind of, the vibes weren't necessarily like, popping off, especially considering he was only getting in. I'd have to look and see what time it was that he got into the game. But I know it was only going to be like, 15, 20 minutes. Right?
15,
yeah.
15, 20 minutes. Yeah.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
15. Yeah.
So, Mohamed Salah on the bench, it sent shockwaves to a lot of people. I'm sure it's going to be a narrative that a lot of rivals are going to start to push, but sometimes leadership is making the uncomfortable call. Slot did that, and I give him props for doing that, by the way, because it's not an easy call when it comes to a player making some 400,000 or whatever he's making nowadays, to have him sitting on your bench. But Salah came on late, looked sharper, perhaps got the jolt he needed, maybe. Again, this wasn't exile. It was accountability. I like this, that we're going to utilize accountability more so for our players. You're not just given a position simply because of the shirt, name on the back of the shirt. It's more so you deserve to be out there because of your performances and what you're contributing to the team. I'm going to ask the panel this. Was dropping Salah gutsy management, or was it maybe overdue realism? I guess you could call it. I'll ask that of Nolante, since you're back with, or actually JK, I'm sorry. You haven't had an opportunity to say anything.
Yeah, cool. I think it was common sense, bro. Him and Kirkes not playing today. That was just common sense for me. Both trying to whip, they're putting the effort in. Of course, Kirkes even puts a lot of effort in, quite a lot actually, but it's not just ticking. And today, when I seen Robertson playing with Van Dijk looked normal today. That jitteriness he's had in this whole season. He didn't look like that player today, bro. And I've said it for a long time. I just feel Kirkes unsettles Van Dijk, and hence why today common sense sort of prevailed in that way. I knew we had to pay Robertson today. Yeah, he sort of messed up the first goal. But that pass for our equaliser, we were lacking that all season, bro. Something like that.
Absolutely.
And it was good to see. So common sense today for me. It was good to see Salah on the bench as well. Let him have that feeling again. I want to come on the pitch and do something. You know what I mean? I think sometimes in life, if you always know that you're going to be starting a game, sometimes you can just sort of fall off your game a little bit because you're taking it for granted. you can start in anyway on Saturday. So I think that was good to rest him anyway, to get some rest, man. You know, Salah don't have to play every bloody minute. He's older now.
Mhm.
So that for me is common sense, bro. It's all about common sense football management sometimes. And today he did it in that way of resting them two guys.
Nolante, how does I'm gonna ask JP the same question, but how does Slot reintegrate him without breaking this new balance possibly? Because obviously we looked good out there. We clicked. It was something that worked, you know. Albeit like initially when I saw that the lineup that I saw, it had Dom at right back or something like that, and I was like, oh man, if he does that, I'll be angry. But you know, all the same, he had Dom in the middle or in the midfield. He had, obviously Ekitike playing in his role, but it was more, again, like I said, it was more like a 4-2-2-2 than it was a 4-3-3, and it's working. Or it worked. It looked dangerous at times. How does he reintegrate? How does Slot reintegrate him? Because obviously you're going to want to see, Mohamed Salah is not going to be comfortable. It sucks to say that. I understand. But man management is a part of the job. So how does he reintegrate, one of our talismans back into the lineup? See if Nolante could get that one. No, maybe not. All right. Well, then, JP, I said I was going to ask you the same question. Maybe you have an answer for me.
Yeah, well, in my opinion, it's easy. Bench him in the away games, right, and start him in Anfield, right. In the away games, we will need a little more pressing, a little more teamwork to solidify our defenses. And when we have games in Anfield, you go on the front foot, so you don't need to be as defensive. So you could tell Salah to stay on top, and the crowd is behind us. So it gives a little fear factor for the teams who coming into Anfield as well. But like, especially when we are away from home, some of the losses, the Crystal Palace, the Chelsea, and what other game, the Galatasaray. Well, not really the Galatasaray, but the Chelsea one especially, right? Salah was kind of like the cause for that loss, because Cucurella was saying it in his interview that we know Salah is not going to run back, so we're going to attack that side. And if we had somebody pressing or helping out Szoboszlai in the right back, we would have be able to probably see out that game for a draw, even have a chance to win. So to integrate him into the team, just look at the opposition, see how the opposition playing. If it's an easy away game, you bring him in the team. But if it's a away game that is difficult, you just play that same team that giving us the energy, giving us the press. Because you saw the press, you saw Wirtz, you saw Curtis Jones, you saw Szoboszlai, even Isaac, a little bit was given a little press, right? Yeah. And Chiesa came on and he was pressing. So Gakpo as well was trying. So you just try to see if you could manage him with the games properly. And once the game is in Anfield, he starts. But if it's a tough away game where we need to have a little more defensive stability, you give him a rest and play people who could help out defensively so that we're not conceding goals. So that's my best way to integrate him back into the team.
Okay. That makes sense. Did you want to give a try at that, Nolante, if you're back?
Yeah, sorry, I'm off now, so I'm just walking to my house.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to wait until you get back to your place, we can wait for you.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry, you continue. I'll be back in my house in the next 6 minutes. So.
Okay, yeah. Just pop on when you're ready. Okay. Yeah. Did you want to give an answer for that one, JK, as well? Like, how do you reintegrate? Because I mean, like, look, Salah's obviously a professional. I'm hoping he'll respond the right way. Obviously, we all become body language experts when it comes to
I am.
Sometimes, seeing the players on the touchline, or maybe even when they get subbed off or anything like that, we all become like, oh, what is he trying to say by, ripping off his tape, or why is he not smiling or something like that? We all become those kinds of words. But and again, I saw today, he did not look like he was happy that he had to get off.
He didn't look happy, bro. But for me, he should look at the bigger picture and think, I've been playing every game. Maybe I should use this time. It's only early stages of the Champions League with third game in. If it's like the quarterfinals, semi-finals, different ball games, a different thing altogether. But this is early stages of Champions League with 8 games in there. You should take that as a time to just rest for himself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is something. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, finish your thought.
Yeah. I reckon the stroppiness only comes because he wants to play, bro. He loves playing. He loves playing football. That's all it is. And he's pissed off he ain't playing.
Yeah. Which is understandable. Look, you know what? Like, I would have a problem with someone if they were, content on not playing. Of course they want to play. I hate it sitting on the bench, or being subbed out, because I don't think I ever really sat the bench, but
oh, okay. Maybe my friend should leave it to you, isn't it, bro?
Yeah.
Brentford on Saturday, you go and play for us, go on.
Right. That's a little pop the collar, that's all. But anyway, I just, it's difficult though. It is difficult because it's a different. It's harder to click in sometimes. It's the reason why, like, for instance, like Florian Wirtz, for instance, I don't like to see him coming off the bench. I'd rather see him be able to get warmed up and get into the flow of the game, as opposed to being play. Some players are good. Some players are super subs. They're the players that you can you can rely on, despite the fact that they didn't start. You can rely on that they can get on there and they can just hit the ground running and make a difference. Some players aren't like that, So like it's an interesting case, It's an interesting case. So this is a mental reset, I guess you could say. We got to block out the noise. They did so in Germany. It was possibly a good way to do it. Virgil van Dijk had these comments basically for the win. He said, Virgil van Dijk said it's best to, quote unquote, block the noise. He said, tonight Liverpool did just that, not panicking. We didn't sulk. We just played football, Obviously the captain and Konate scored and the team defended with some real effort and pride. And you could feel the unit returning, but I can't emphasize enough that I think that having Robbo in at left back made a difference. I think it was unfortunate because you didn't really get a chance to see what the difference would have been with Frimpong in at right back, possibly, and that's unfortunate because he went off pretty early, and also it wasn't even like a contact. It was technically not contact. It was on a run that he made, and I guess he felt something, and then when he was
hamstring.
And when he was back in our third of the pitch, he ended up making a signal to the referee and just went down, and it was unfortunate. But I'm going to bring up the standings here as well. By the way, this is what we're looking at. I gotta make this bigger for myself too. This is the standings so far. Make sure I can get that a little bit bigger for myself. Oops. PSG with 9 points, Bayern Munich with 9, Inter with 9, Arsenal with 9, unfortunately, Real Madrid with 9, Dortmund 7, City 7, and Newcastle rounding out the top 8 with 6 points. Obviously, this win was very, very important for us as it made us jump from 17th, which we were in earlier. Before this game, we were in 17th place. It bumped us all the way up, especially with the goals that we scored because it helped our GD. It bumped us up right behind Barcelona in the 10th spot. very, very big. It is a huge, huge must win, I thought. And they showed such. Was this a must win game for you? Not only for our confidence, but for just looking at it from a perspective of our Champions League run. Was this a must win for this game? Because some people, I remember I was talking with Lee, and he was like, he was going to be content with a draw. He just didn't want to see us lose.
Yeah, I'm back.
What do you want to say, Nalante? Oh, you're back? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah.
What was for you? Was this a must win for you?
I wouldn't say it was a must win, but I just feel it's something that we needed to your confidence. I mean, yeah, probably if we would have lost, then yeah, flipping helmet, the crowd would have been loud. But in terms of the Champions League, not really. There's still enough games for us to play ourselves back. There's not, and even we're not going to finish like what's the playoffs? I think 9 to 17. I can't remember. We're not going to get eliminated out of the Champions League because there's still the playoffs from 9 to 17, I believe, or 18. I can't remember. But it's just something for us again to win. In regards to just what JK was saying before about getting the energy back and to get his fire, get his fire and get his instinct. I think right now Mo he just has to hold bench. We can't. And this is something we did going last season. I said last season when I was laughed at the building from some who may be here, not be here. Chiesa should have started certain games, even when Mo was on form. Not because Mo is a bad player. He's a great, but he needs. Like I said, it doesn't matter his fitness. You need to rest these players. You can't have them. Sometimes the form will fluctuate, and this times Mo hasn't been great. There needs to be a stronghold now. Like you said, Arne dropping Mo. Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably surprised. I guess we're good, but I'm not bothered about tonight. I'm just really have the balls to say, you know what, this team's done well, and I know it's only one game. Mo, it's just not happening for you. You just have to hold bench until you get your form back. But it's not going to happen, is it? And that's what I'm worried about because we have to think about the team, what the team needs, rather than the player. It doesn't matter how great they are. I've always said that, but again, and JP, JK, and again, maybe not in this chat. People hold on to players dearly, and this is my favorite player, so this is no. I don't care. Like people, this is Liverpool FC Football Club. I keep saying, this 12. We talked about it. It's not Mo Salah FC. It's not Virgil van Dijk FC. It's not Gravenberch FC. It's Liverpool Football Club. We deal with a bigger team, and and as great as Mo is, if he doesn't like it, well, tough.
Okay.
Tough.
Tough love.
Yeah.
This will be a little tough love for those of us on the panel in the chat, but JK is going to be leaving us. So JK,
sorry, Rose. Yeah, man. I'm just happy we won, bro. I think it was a must win for us. We had to win today, but imagine the noise now. Oof, it would have been horrible right now, bro. Yeah. None of us would be smiling right now. So for me, that was a must win. But bless up, bro. Happy we won.
Definitely. Big up. Thank you for joining us. Definitely for
peace, bros.
Contributions.
Just before you go, JK, sorry. Oh, he's gone. Don't worry, Scott. I was going to say something. Sorry, he's gone. Yeah, go for it, Tom. Continue, sorry.
What's next? Momentum, Mirage, basically. Oh, he's back.
Nalante was going to say something, but Nalante, bro.
Go ahead, Nalante. You want to say something to him?
Yeah, I think JK used to celebrate the fact that your favorite player scored the last goal. You're out number 10. Dominic Szoboszlai.
He came back for that.
You know what? He was playing today. For me, it was one of the best games he's played for us in the way he was playing the ball. Like today, he was everywhere, man. He was, like when you're in control of a game, when you're like playing in the park and that, he was on that sort of level today. And for me, I only said I want Szoboszlai to improve because I know him behind all that energy and that he can be more of a player, and he's doing it, bro. So I'm happy, man. But I'm happy for Wirtz. I didn't say nothing about Wirtz, but the 2 assists. I know there were simple passes and that, but at the end of the day, it adds to his chart, you know, because it's like he ain't got a goal or assist before today, and he got 2 today. He just shows me he can just carry the ball, keep the game sort of flowing in his way, and I love that. So it's good to see that.
Cool.
Okay, boys.
Definitely.
Peace.
All right.
Yeah,
Peace
man.
out. Okay.
Easy now.
I was just offering up the fact that we have momentum, or is this going to be actual momentum, or is this going to be just a mirage? It could easily be one or the other, considering that Brentford is an away game. It's not a home game, so it's an away game. Every game, I personally think that any game on the road is a difficult fixture. It does not matter who you're facing, where. It's about the fact that you're on the road and it's very difficult. I know our home fans, or excuse me, our away fans that travel with the club definitely make it a little bit more of a hospitable environment for them as best they can. But the ultimate thing is, you know, it's where you're more likely to see upsets occur, and is on away fixtures. So the job's not done. It's only just restarted. Brentford away next. Then there's a brutal run, by the way. I do have the next list of games that we have. We have not only Brentford, but then we have Palace. That's our bogey team lately. And it's a League Cup game, by the way. So it makes it a question of, you know, how heavily do we rotate in that game? What kind of emphasis do we put into trying to continue on in that campaign? Then we have Villa. Villa has stepped up all of a sudden again. Villa has gotten their feet and gotten their, you know, Morgan Rogers and the likes. They're really, really putting together a real effort to reestablish themselves as a force in the Premier League. Then we have Real Madrid. Okay. Trent's return to Anfield. It looks like it's going to happen, you know. So, you know, that is one thing. And then, guess what? Manchester City is then the game right after that. Yeah. So there's any time that this has to be momentum, it has to be now.
Yeah.
It has to be now. What must Slot prioritize to turn this win into a true run for UJP? What must he prioritize?
The Brentford game is the key. Right? That once you win the Brentford game, it gives the platform for the other games, because the next set of run is in Anfield. So we have Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, and Real Madrid at home. It's Anfield. We're supposed to be winning those games. And then you end it off with going and making a statement in City. You understand? So the key to getting that momentum back is winning the Brentford game. You don't even have to play well. You just have to come through that tough Brentford fixture. You see, last season when we had that tough last-minute goal from Nunes in Brentford, and that was the turning point for us to go on and win the league. So it come back again just a little earlier for us, because this could be our little turning point. Because once we win that Brentford game, you're going into the Crystal Palace game, then you have the Aston Villa game and Real Madrid. Aston Villa, I think they're playing City this weekend as well. So it will tell us a lot about both City and Aston Villa, right?
That's good. Yeah,
and if we beat that Aston Villa team into a Real Madrid team who is on top of us in the Champions League, it shows that we are carrying that momentum and we back in terms of what we want to do and how we want to operate for the big trophies. So we reached that stage now, in my opinion, where we have no room for error, and we just need to take it one game at a time and just keep building that momentum slowly. Because once we win that Brentford game, and we have 3 games in Anfield, if we want to win big trophies, our home form is important, right? So we need to be delivering at home. We have the crowd, and we need to step up. So that Brentford game is the key going forward.
Okay. Nalante, should this lineup from Frankfurt start again at Brentford, basically? Obviously, if it all depends on if Isak is actually fit to play. Obviously, Frimpong most likely won't be available for the Brentford game, but some remnants of it, in the sense of like maybe Bradley for Frimpong. We can substitute that real quick. But if Isak is fit, would you return to this lineup again?
No. Isak's got a whole bench.
Oh,
Start Chiesa. Start
Oh.
Chiesa.
Wow.
Got a whole bench. The only change I would make, it's difficult, isn't it? I'll
Yeah, you
put
can
Gravenberch
give
in.
your lineup if you want to give a lineup. A lineup.
I would do of the Mama, who was pretty well. He didn't really have much to do. Couldn't do nothing about the goal. Solid. Bradley. Yeah, I guess you can't go Ebo VVD, Robbo. No, the midfield is who would I try? I'll go Gravy, Sobo, Wirtz, and then Chiesa, Cody, and Hugo.
Gravy, Servo, Wirtz, and then
And you can change it.
Who was that front
change,
for you? Who's that front for you?
Oh no, Hugo, Chiesa, and Cody.
Okay.
And then you can tactical change the formation to what you wanted to do because they're intelligent players, you know.
Mm.
You can let them be flexible. You can, and like Cody, I know he's not right-footed, but you switch him to the right, Chiesa to the left sometimes. Switch the play, or if Hugo goes left, one of them goes through the middle. Just fluid movement, you know.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to put that together for you. So let me make sure you had Bradley, right? Konate, VVD, and you had Robbo in it. Left, and then you had Gravy. You had do you have McAllister in there?
No.
Okay. Who was your midfield again? Dominic?
Gravy, Sobo, and Wirtz in the 10.
And then you had Chiesa, you had Ekitike, and then on the left you have
Cody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's just showing some love there for that. Let me see if I can do this. All right. I'm trying to show this without the ads. All right. What would be your lineup, JP?
Yeah, well, Curtis Jones was really impressive today, and it's difficult. He gives us that kind of ball retention and stability in the midfield. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to ask Nalante because I was going to ask him that question actually. Do you think we put Jones in the midfield? I know when something is not broke, you don't change it, right? But put Lucas left back and put Wirtz on the left and let Wirtz operate like how he operates in Leverkusen. So when Wirtz is on the left, especially when he's on the left for Germany, the wing back makes a lot of overlapping runs, and he either feeds the wing back or he does his thing going inside. And that's where his pocket, just to have that stability in the midfield with Grav, Sobo, and Jones. And you get a little unpredictability now with Wirtz being on the left. And to give us the legs on the left, you have Kirkes overlapping to help him, right? And as you said, keys are there, but like that will be my only change. Just give Gakpo a rest, put Wirtz on the left, but because Robbo don't have the legs to overlap as Kirkes, you just bench Robbo, and start Kirkes. So we get a little unpredictability on the left from Wirtz and Kirkes, and you're playing to both of them strengths. And you also get that packed three in midfield with Jones, Szoboszlai, and Gravenberch. So
okay. Well
then,
So tell me what your lineup is. I'll try to put it together for you.
Yeah, so I'll just have Wirtz on the left and Kirkes, and you bring in Jones.
Okay, so you're taking out Robbo and bringing in Kirkes, and then you're taking out Cody and bringing in Wirtz.
Yeah, and bringing Jones in the midfield.
And is Jones going in at 10 or midfield?
Jones and Gravenberch will play the pivot. Szoboszlai will be in the 10, and you have Wirtz operating on the left. a little bit. Yeah.
You have Salah starting?
No, I had Chiesa started.
Okay.
I like the energy. So you away from home members, away from home, we get in press. So Chiesa will press and help the wing back as well.
I'll put into a 4-2-3-1 then. This here. Do you have Chiesa being on the right? Who's your 10 again? Who's your 10?
Sabo.
Okay. All right. This is making sure. All right. So this was, you can tell us who you think yours would be. This was right here. I'll take this down so you can see it. This was Nalante's.
Yeah.
And this one right here is JP's. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Take this down. Interesting. All right. I mean, it's interesting. I'm hoping that that the implementation, even if Isak isn't ready for the weekend,
yeah,
I would go as far as to say start Chiesa in Isak's spot.
But yeah, I just keep the same. Yeah.
If you're going to come out, or at least you're going to come out. If you're going to come out with the same formation, and line and structure of the team, I would say then if you're not going to have Isak being able to hold down that role, then put in Chiesa, because I think Chiesa will bring the energy. He'll bring he'll bring the commitment to the press. He'll actually the alertness. He'll be able to bring out some type of the awareness to be able to connect players.
And he's less selfish too. He will play for the team, so he will make the right decision. Yeah,
exactly. Innit?
So it means that 12th man, you just bringing in Gravenberch for Jones, and that's just the little switch there. So Chiesa coming in for Isak and Gravenberch coming in for Jones.
Okay. Got a 4-2-2-2. Bring that up. See if I can get that out there, since that's what they went with. See if I can get who I would go with if we were able to get it set up real quick. I'm hoping Gravy's ready by the weekend, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think that'll make a big difference.
Yeah.
A big difference. Who was your man of the match, by the way? The Carlsberg man of the match was this guy. He was my player man of the match.
Sabo play.
Okay.
Sabo.
You can give honorable mentions if you like as well. Who was your man?
Sabo, Jones, Ekitike, and Wirtz. Those were.
So that would be your podium.
Yeah.
You know how I don't know if you guys follow or have watched hockey in your lives, but when at the end of the game they'll give there's like 3 stars basically. So they don't just give like a man of the match. They give like you actually get like 3 players get nods as being men of the match. So so I guess like if you were giving, those would be your 3 is Dom, Jones, and who's the third again?
And Ekitike.
Okay. Who would be yours, Nalante? If you had to give out a gold, silver, bronze, give like your podium.
Dom, Jones, Wirtz.
Okay. Dom, Jones, Wirtz. All right, makes sense.
No, they really run down midfield together. They were like, they were like, McAllister, it not looking good for you, bro, buddy.
You're holding bench until you figure it out. Yeah, and like I said, little things.
Because remember, Grav coming in. Grav needs to start. Me personally, I think Grav and Szoboszlai is the pivot going forward now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Something with Szoboszlai gives me, like a Gerrard-esque type of.
I get what you're saying, JP.
In the pivot.
Yeah,
right?
I
Not
thought.
number 10,
Mm.
not the number 10, but like
Mm.
the work rate he had, he's sliding
Yeah.
in, he's
Yeah.
fit, he has a shot on him, he has a good corner. Like
Yeah.
ever since Gerrard left, I do think that like Szoboszlai is the closest thing that we have to replicate or to come close as that general in the midfield for us. And I think Wirtz, he showed today as well, is what Coutinho could be, what was as well for us. So think about we get back a Gerrard and a Coutinho style with a Fernando Torres, Ekitike, or Isak. Yeah.
Wow.
If we could get those kind of levels, that would be
Yeah.
that would be
Right.
mad. Yeah.
All right. You heard it here
Yeah.
first. JP just said the
West.
Hungarian Gerard. Is that what you said? No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, no, but
Totally joking. No, I'm not going to put you in that. I'm not going to put you in that corner. I'm not going to put you in that corner. No.
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah.
never hear the end of it if you do.
JP had to choose the words carefully.
Yeah, exactly. People will take that and
Exactly.
run.
Yeah.
You think Tom does some running?
Yeah.
Oh, wait and see.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Called him Dominic Gerrard. Oh boy, forget the stream's over. Stream's over. Shut the stream down.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
over. Tom can't do a podcast again.
All right.
But I understand your point. No, it's a very good point. Funny enough, JP, I've always said that I prefer dominance in the pivot.
Yeah.
I've always preferred him further back. He can play more. And you know what? One thing, and again, it's not the Trent because I hate when these jump up and say, "No, you missed Trent." Yeah, of course, players come and go, but he can do long balls. He can do a switch.
Yeah.
He's got it in him. So yeah, I think that pivot role, him and Grav, and he can work well. One can stay, one can go, and yeah, he can be that all rounder. So yeah, I agree. Right now, you have to say form wise is Grav and Sobo without a doubt.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Shout out to Red Armchair supporter. He was saying his three are Dom, Wirtz, and then Dom again. I got you. I got you. Let's see. Hyler's bringing up this. This is good too, by the way. Shout out to friend of the channel and also a friend of all of ours as well, Mr. Cal. You know, I think what does he like to call himself? The Oracle or something? I think, or whatever. Now he thinks he's the Oracle or something. I don't know, or something along those lines when it comes to being able to call out. He used to be the freezer. Now he could be more of the closer when it comes to trying to announce players that he would like to get into the squad. I think that the curse he thinks has ended. But getting beyond that, he's very critical of Cody Gakpo. I know that I've seen a lot of criticism on a lot of different content creator channels and even in the chats of Cody Gakpo. He's one of the few players I actually have a background for, actually for my own self, you know, that's still with the team. At least the guys I used to have my backgrounds for most of them are not even with the team anymore. So he's making the point of Gakpo now has 4 goals and 3 assists in 12 matches. Difficult to sub with those numbers. Been a bit of a scapegoat this season because his movement on the pitch is a bit repetitive. I get exactly what he's saying there, Hyler's saying there, and I know that's been the early and often utilized criticism for Cody is that his play isn't inspirational. I heard Jamie today because on my side of the pond, the post-match is Micah Richards, it's Jamie and Henri, and then Katie. I think her name is Katie. Kate. Is the Kate, right? They're the 4 that take on the panel. And when Jamie was talking about the game, he referenced as he went as far as to, I don't know why, but he went as far as to kind of like single out Cody and say he's not a superstar, but he gets goals. And I was just like, oh wow, man. I mean, why you have to go so far as to like, you know, call out if he's a superstar or not, you know? Like just let him have his moment. He's been one of the most consistent goal scorers or goal like contributors on our team for the last couple of games.
Apart from
Period.
Ekitike, he's the second best attacker we have. Apart
Yeah,
from
at the moment.
at the moment.
At the moment, yeah. I think he has more goals in the last four games than he has the most goals of any player on our team in the last four games.
Yeah.
And I mean, I understand there's been losses, but I mean, all the same, I mean, he's been the one at least been putting up the work to contribute. So it's kind of interesting to see that when the Scapegoat FC, it's out there. I know it is something. It's that coinage that we brought out there on is the Scapegoat FC, and we already mentioned it. Cody, I knew Agent Cody was definitely going to be a part of that. I already knew that. I did have my honorable mentions. I would have gone with Robbo as my honorable mention. I know that he had the slip up, or people are going to say, well, he was a part of that early goal. He let it go through the wickers of himself, and the wicks, I think they're called, or wickers. I think that's what it's called. When you do the what's the mallet game? Isn't that what it's called? You know what I'm talking about? The mallet game where you have the you hit the balls and you try to like knock the balls through the wicks. I thought they were called. No.
Yeah. What?
Isn't that the name of it? Isn't that what they're called? The wicks or wickers? It's the game where you have like.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the name.
You don't know the name either. Okay, I'm trying to think of what it's called. Yeah. I know it's like I'm pretty sure it's like an English game, I think, or something like that. It's like the it's not. Oh yeah, you can say cricket. You can say cricket. Cricket is the same thing too. Yeah. What are the sticks called in cricket?
Wicket.
Wickets. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So yeah. Yeah. That's not the game I was actually thinking of, to tell you the truth, but it'll apply. Okay. The other game I was thinking of is, oh man, I'm gonna have to think. It'll come to me later on. It'll come to me, and I'll tell you what it was. But cricket could apply here, and he got through the wickets and basically allowed for the goal. I get that, but let's be honest. His assist, croquet. Thank you. That's what it is. Croquet. That's what I'm talking about. Like you had to hit the ball through those little posts for you to get the score. All right. Anyway, avid croquet. So many avid croquet players, I'm sure, in the chat and on the panel. But okay. Let's get back to what I was trying to get at is Andrew Robinson had the assist that really sparked our game. I think until that point, we looked slightly flat. I'm going to be honest. We looked slightly, there wasn't anything that was like screaming out, oh, we've got control of this, or oh, we're going to make something actually happen, or anything like that. That assist, which was an absolutely, I think, the best assist of the game, ignited us into obviously the consecutive 3 goals that we got, and all of a sudden we were on our way. Who's wicked in cricket? Yeah, who's wicked in cricket? I don't know who's wicked in cricket, but I had Andrew Robertson on my podium. It's hard to decide on who would actually make the podium on the left or right of him because, like, I thought Ekitike was certainly a candidate. I also had Florian Wirtz the candidate, so it's like flip a coin and you could pick either or to be on that podium for me. I just thought that they were both phenomenal today as well. Is there excuse me, John Wick? I got you. Everybody's getting in the wicks now. Everyone's getting the wicks and the wickets. I got you. Is there anything else that stood out in the game for you guys that you wanted to mention or do you want to comment on? Anything else that you maybe wanted to that you thought was important that's maybe someone missed, or maybe something that you picked up in the game that you think is going to be influential for us to recognize? JP or Latte?
Well, as I said before, because we kind of blaming Robertson for the first goal, and it all started with Wirtz not letting go the ball a little sooner, and he got caught in transition, and Bradley just came onto the pitch, so Bradley was getting his legs and that. So I mean, he could have done better, but like transition with Robbo is difficult now. That's why Kirk is starting, because he might be a little better in transition and a little quicker to be set to the ball. But like I agree with what you're saying. Like it's I kind of like in two minds, because because of that transition factor away from home, I would want to protect Robbo, and in case we meet a speedy winger, you'd want to protect Robbo because his legs is going, but he brings that calm and composure to his game, and I don't think Kirk has given that assist, and I don't think Kirk is bringing that composure to the Liverpool team right now, because you saw the help it gave to Van Dijk. So I really think Kirk needs to kind of take a little back seat, and let Slot protect Robbo a little bit better, so that in transition we're not exposing the obvious weakness that we could be having if we attacking Robbo. But outside of that, like I just don't want to get too excited, because it kind of we're in a bad spot right now, and I hoping that Slot could see what's going on and not pick favorites, and just utilize what working until we get that confidence up. This was the first game 12 man that we as Liverpool fans enjoyed, right? So
this season,
this season, like we were very comfortable, we happy, we saw a good performance, we saw a good result, and we just want to feel like this for a couple more weeks, a month, so that we could have these so-called players get back into form. If you're chasing the game all the time, it's difficult to play people into form. It's difficult to get people to stay at a certain level, because you're chasing the game all the time. So I just hoping that we could keep this control, and is down to Slot, and for him to kind of protect and keep that shape and protect the back four, and we will score goals. So no doubt about it.
Okay. All right. I did have something of what I was going to say would be something of what I think. Let me make sure that this one, I think it is. This would be something. If we're going to do Chiesa up front, this would be my form of what I'd like to see be a part of it tomorrow. If not, if you're not going to bring out something like this, you can go with something like, if you're not going to go with Chiesa up top, maybe even put in Salah, appease the man. Maybe he's going to be itching and scratching. I know that I've been saying about Robbo and everything else, but you know what I think, though, is going to be necessary for it is that Robbo is going to have to recognize that he is most likely going to be asked to play in that game against Crystal Palace. I think the Crystal Palace game is a game that I'd rather see the composure of Robbo in, as opposed to a game on the road that we're going to need energy. We're going to need just like pure adrenaline on the pitch. Yeah. Maybe we could just utilize Kirkes for that, which is what's similar.
Brentford have any speedy wingers?
What's that?
Brentford has any speedy wingers?
I don't know if necessarily they have speedy wingers. It's more so with Brentford. I'll bring up Brentford.
No. They've got Sade, but he's not really a winger. He's like an inside forward / forward. Okay. And then you bought Otara from Bournemouth, who again, it's like winger. He's not speedy, but he's quite quick. He's quite decent, but nothing like.
Thiago's the player that even though he's the striker, but he's the guy that you're worried about.
Yeah, he's the form player. Yeah. They signed him. He had a serious injury. I think he had an ACL. A serious injury, so I think recovered end of last season. Yeah, he's doing bits for them. Fair play to Keith Andrew. Changed the formation.
You said Atara, right? And then on the other side they have what's his name? Kevin Shade.
Shade. Yeah. But I don't think they change it. From what I've seen, they like to play sometimes a 5-3-2 or 3-5-2. So they don't really do the whole
Lewis
winger thing.
Okay.
Keane Lewis Potter, maybe, or
Still plays a wing back. They don't do the 4-3-3.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought in Jensen for Hendo that last time. And
Hendo. Oh god, that's going to be interesting.
That's going to be very interesting. He's going to have he's definitely going to have that's going to be one of the narratives, I'm sure, for that game. It's going to be, you want to talk about like I talk about my football romantic takes and everything else. That's going to be a storyline for him to try to get a goal or get some type of involvement, or maybe he's going to get involved. He might get involved in a controversial tackle or something, or something like that. I'm sure he's going to try to make a measure of getting involved.
In the coffin. Yeah.
And then we also have to face our old counterpart Kelleher in net.
Yeah.
So
interesting subplots. Yeah.
Very subplots. Yeah. Marmadash really taking on basically the player, the guy that he took his spot, basically. So some interesting ones. Who's that other guy? Their other wing back, Michael Coyote, right, or Coyote. He's decent. Had a decent game. He was player of the match last game against West Ham, actually. But it's gonna be. I think it is gonna be interesting how we line up against them. Another shout out Seth Vandenberg too. Another former player. Starting, by the way, for Brentford. I know that there's
Cavallo as well. I think Cavallo there too.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's those that were very that had no interest in keeping him, no interest in him being a Liverpool player. But I mean, right now, he at least could have brought us some depth, and he would have gotten opportunities to bring that depth to our team. He wasn't necessarily. I'm not saying he should be a starter or could have been a starter, but I'm just saying he could have provided some depth to our team, certainly. But we'll see. We'll see. Bunch of former Liverpool players all starting for them as well. Don't they also have don't they have Carvalho, right?
Carvalho there as well. But he comes off the bench, so
yeah. So that's four players.
Yeah.
Jeez. Brentford's all about our our second biddles, or our cast offs. Just joking. Hyler is saying Brentford plays with 3 central defenders. Okay. Okay. Yeah. That'll be interesting. Sometimes they play in a 4-2-3-1. At least that's the lineup that they had against West Ham. But yeah, they go into three backs against us the similar way that, and having wing backs possibly, the way that Manchester United lined up against us. It'd be interesting if they try to do the same concept, of waiting, allowing for us to get to the first ball, but being mindful to get to the second ball. That's something I don't want to see happen. I don't want to see that happen. Seth Vandenberg, Kelleher, Jordan Henderson, and Carvalho. All right. Well, we're going to end it here. Nolante, is there anything that you wanted to say to the Reds, to the masses, before we bounce out?
Big up the chat as always. Big up yourself, JP, in the cut. Big up always. And we move. It's a win. We've done a job against all but not, Frankfurt team we should always beat. Obviously, no one's getting carried away, of course. We just hope we'll roll into the next, as JP said, Brentford, and get that winning feeling, because I don't think a draw, we need to win. A draw's not good enough. We can't, a 2-2 like Chelsea had is just not good enough. We have to win, and we have to beware of all these ex-Liverpool players. And just for Slot, hopefully when he comes to the league game, he doesn't succumb to the usual names. He sees the form and let these players play.
Yeah. Okay.
Certain players have tried. It's not happening. Let them play. That's it.
Yeah, easy said. Hopefully, hopefully he hears you. Hopefully he's listening. I know he's they're in Germany now. They had their
Yeah.
flight was late. They had a late flight there, so I don't know if that means an early flight home possibly, but JP, what do you have to say?
Yeah, just similar sentiments to Nalante. Just continue to steady the ship slot. That's why we pay near the big bucks. That's why the board is trusting you to continue. As I said before, if we get that victory against Brentford, it gives us a platform for momentum to get back on track in both the league and Champions League with the 3 next games at Anfield, right? So just take it one game at a time. Take it one game at a time. Trust your players, and let's hope that we get another good reaction going into that Brentford game.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Get through this away fixture.
Yeah.
Get back to Anfield intact with another win under the belt, hopefully.
Yep.
And just keep it moving. Because that League Cup game's something I want to see us continue on in. I want to see us get over Crystal Palace, past Crystal Palace in that regard, and move forward in that competition. I also want us to then, really take advantage of the 3 games, just as JP said, the 3-game home run that we have against Real Madrid and Aston Villa. Big deal to do. And then we'll worry about going to the Etihad and getting a result when it happens. So 1 game at a time.
If we beat Real Madrid, then it's going into real momentum in that Etihad game. Yeah, but Villa and City this weekend will tell us a lot about both teams.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that I watch that game. Tell you the truth, that's a good shout. To kind of get a recognition of who and what we'll have to watch out. Who's really in form for either of those teams. That's a good shout.
Yeah.
Well, people, please do put your comments. Put anything you think that who your player of the match is. You can tell us some extra comments or whatever you have on that you want to get off your chest, about it. If you want to talk about croquet, I don't care. You can put that into the comments. All right. It is what it is. Please do just subscribe, share it with other friends and other Reds, especially the show that we're trying to make a real concerted effort in a real true environment here that is going to be one where we can have disagreements, or we can have different opinions, and the likes, but we have a sensible forum so that we can kind of discuss them and try to get them out and try to enlighten each other so that when we do get into those other forums, we can stand out as lights as opposed to darkness. So that said, big up to each and every one of you. Big up to the Reds, up the Reds each and every time, definitely. Thank you to the panel. Thank you to JP. Thank you to Alante. Thank you to JK from that was on earlier. And thank you for everyone that tuned in today. Big up to each and every one of you. Hope that you're doing well and that continues. I will see you guys tomorrow. We'll be doing an episode tomorrow. Most likely maybe do a hybrid episode where we'll do a review of the game in the sense of give out some reviews of player ratings and the likes, but then also kind of talk about some of the things that are going on in the news and then get into the preview on Friday. So until then, take care, God bless, and we will see you soon. Take care.